Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mention It All podcast. I am so excited to be joined today by one of my favorite people on TikTok recently. He is crushing it with the Housewives impressions all the time. Miguel Luciano, welcome. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for that lovely introduction.
Of course, you had a night last night.
Yeah, I'm like still recovering.
You went to this DirecTV extravaganza.
Yes, DirecTV and Bravo TV had a big plot twist party with a bunch of different Bravo celebrities and content creators, and it was a lot of fun. It was great to see them like commingling, like the cheerleaders and the jocks and the water polo kids. You know,
it's like, okay, who is Austin Kroll gonna talk to at this Housewives party?
Totally, like seeing him and Meredith Marks at the same table. It's like, oh, okay.
It is funny because I feel like back in the day, maybe like 5-6 years ago, the idea of like people from different Bravo shows being together was kind of novel. It was like, oh, like, do they know who each other are? Like, what's the story? And like between social media and BravoCon and Ultimate Girls Trip and all that, it's like, oh yeah, like this.
It's become a little bit more common. Yeah, they link up, they chat. There's always rumors about people having, showmances and things like that.
I love an inter-show beef though.
Oh, like when shows beef with each other?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so solely committed to my housewifery that I'm very tuned out and tapped out of anything else.
Adriana was on Watch What Happens Live and they asked her who the rudest like Bravo person she's met, and she said Giselle.
I saw that.
And Giselle commented on the Instagram post and she said, Harpo, who this woman?
I mean, look, my perspective on the whole thing is there's always, I'm not saying Adriana's lying. I'm just saying there's always two sides to every story. Like we never know what's really going on. So it's always comical to kind of get one person's perspective, but it's also like, well, let's hear what the other person has to say.
It makes me think of the story about how Nene Leakes was rude to Kenya Moore's boyfriend, Kimura across the street.
Yeah. Well, my favorite story of someone being rude to someone is Ramona and Bethany being like, you were rude to my assistant. She's like, well, you know what? I didn't even realize it was her. You know what? I'm sorry. I don't even know her. And she's like, you've known her for 10 years. How dare you? You know what? I'm sorry. And sometimes
I don't think Ramona is the best at like placing a face that she's seen before or like remembering somebody that she's met.
I think that the brain does a good job of filtering out information that it doesn't think is important. And I think Ramona has very specific information that she finds important.
Her filters are set.
Yeah, they're set. Like she knows what she's needing and who she's needing it from. And if you're not in that box, she's good. I think
her brain has like the spam filter up to 100.
Yeah. Like there's very
like, I get one email a day.
Completely. The input is very low. The threshold for input is very low on new information or ideas. And
honestly, that sounds peaceful a little bit.
Well, and you know what? It also makes her spectacular television, which as a content creator and when I do any impersonations or sketches, I'm watching it as an entertainer and as a comedian first. So I don't watch the Housewives for morality. Right. I'm not interested in being like, team this person, team that person. I'm like, I think they're all fucking hilarious.
It is fun.
And it's all fun.
I feel like when I meet people a lot of the time, they're like, who's your favorite housewife? Which like, if you've asked me that, you're fine. But I'm always like, I don't know. Like,
it's all fun.
I don't need to play favorites. I'm here for the game. I'm here to watch the game.
Yeah. It's all about like, and even I find like even housewives that I find typically annoying, I think they're still good for the show.
Yeah.
Like there's housewives, we need housewives that cause a little friction, a little tension. And I think it's part of the machine. It's important for the machine to have certain people that maybe even rub you the wrong way a little bit, you know? And there's nothing better than having a transformation with a housewife. Like starting off not liking a housewife and then second season being like, damn, you know what? There's a real humanity to her. She's actually a real person underneath the Prada bags or the Birkin bags. Like, I'm excited for Stephanie Shoje to have that. Because so far it's coming off a little bit.
I've been wondering.
Layered.
Yeah. If we are gonna get to see it, you never know.
I'm curious because it's very specific right now. It's a very specific thing. Obviously, they have thousands of hours that they can only edit into a certain, But I am enjoying watching her, even if it's feeling a little one-dimensional. There has to be a there. So I'm curious to see that unfold.
Right, like no matter how shallow or somebody might be, your whole personality can't be like babies and Birkins don't mix.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I think that again, there's probably stuff on the cutting room floor that just never made it. And also, I think like in any real life group, we all walk in with an idea of how we want to be perceived, right? Until we feel comfortable to let the guard down. And as an actor and as an acting coach, I'm always looking at it from like a psychological perspective.
Okay.
So there's an element to it that I'm like, she's trying to fit in, maybe. She wants to be friends with these girls. She wants to maybe feel a certain type of way, which everyone has felt that, right?
Yeah, and I think like in the like acting vein too, it's like everybody comes on probably with an idea of like what they want to give on the show.
Totally.
So maybe that performance has to sort of like get broken down a little bit
completely
after a while.
And we earn trust, right? We earn that. So I think so far no one has earned it yet. Mind you, she's maybe hasn't done herself any favors, but you know, but I think that I'm excited to see the humanity underneath her.
Yeah.
And she's actually, let me tell you something. You know what she's giving me? Early Kristen Takeman. When Kristen Takeman joined New York in season 7, she was taking on all the big dogs and not blinking. And people like thought she was too big for her britches, but now you rewatch, she slayed almost all those dragons. Maybe, you know, she whatever, but like she did her thing of like she took it on the chin.
Yeah, that's an interesting comparison because I think Kristen doesn't necessarily get a lot of. She's not remembered in kind of that like top tier of New York Housewives because there is such an iconic core. But yeah, she did for how short of a time she was on the show.
She made an impact. She did, and she
got Ramona wet.
She got who are you to get me wet? Yeah, and so she took on Bethany several times.
Yeah,
and I mean she really held her own. So Stephanie, I think. You know, there's certain housewives that in the moment, and again, when you're in, like you just said, with an iconic core, it's hard to make an entrance, an impact. Miami's so solid across the board. I don't care if you like them. I don't care if you don't. You can't deny that they all have their own unique charm and it factor, all of them. Larsa brings something very specific to the show that I'm here for, actually.
Oh, yeah.
She brings a very interesting, like, desire to go against taboo. Like any conversation that's taboo or like, death or mortality, she's gonna rub up against it, and I'm like, it's kind of funny, you know.
Yeah.
And she does have like a certain Miami feel that the other women don't have, which I find interesting. But point being, when a cast has a really unique core of characters, it can be hard to penetrate that. But Stephanie's doing her thing. I mean, she's showing up and showing out.
She really is.
But you know what? With the Housewives fandom, you can never win. You can never win. If you come in and if you try to make it happen, they're already trying too hard. If you come in and you don't do enough, what are you even doing
flop.
there?
Yeah.
It's a flop. So it's like, it's kind of hard. You're kind of destined to fail when you're a new one joining a group of girls that have been there for a while.
Yeah, I want to back up a little bit.
Back it up. You better back it up quick, as I don't play that game. Fool.
Take me to when I meet someone
Dorinda all the time.
When I meet someone new in this space, I always want to find out what their first Bravo love was, what your Bravo origin story. What was the show that kind of got you into this?
Well, the first show that I even sort of just like got an awareness of it was Beverly Hills. You're such a fucking liar, Camille. That moment, I remember being like, who are these people? But then
She's pernicious.
That whole thing, I remember seeing it, but it didn't penetrate my psyche.
Yeah.
When it really started to make an impact and literally change my DNA was actually season 7 of New York.
Okay.
When I saw that trailer and Dorinda said, "You made me look like an ass. Don't do that shit." I said, I'm going to watch this show for the rest of my life. I'm going to watch this show for the rest of my life. When she looked at John Medesian and said, "You bringing my daughter one more time, I'll rip you a new fucking ass, or you got it?" I said, I have been changed for good. So New York, I think OG New York really did the work to rewire me.
That was my entry point as well. That first chunk of New York when it was still on. Period.
Yeah. Can you believe that? How crazy that is?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. It's such a bummer that it didn't work. I think that had a lot of potential. I think, you know.
Yeah, I was just talking about this with somebody the other week that it feels like we've sort of missed some kind of moment where it's like we don't really hear from Zonia much anymore.
Yeah.
Luann she's off doing her thing. I don't know if she like wants to be a housewife anymore.
I think they all kind of want to be having fun, and I don't know if they want to be doing the Housewives.
Right.
But I think they kind of want to do like a Ultimate Girls Trip. Let's film for a week and a half. Let's have fun. And I think everyone wants it.
Yeah. And
I'm in that very, I don't know if it's a small percentage, maybe it's larger, maybe people don't want to admit it, but I want Ramona back.
So you have a very compelling Ramona Singer impression that you do. I know you've been in contact with Ramona.
I can't say too much, but
what has it been like for
dating.
you?
I wanted to let everyone know. Where's
Hard
my
launch.
camera? Ramona and I were, you know what?
It is kind of crazy.
Steady.
Ramona...
You know what? We're going steady.
Ramona has a boyfriend now, and I
me.
feel like we've never seen her actually date on the show. Like she would be like leaving somewhere to go on a date or alluding to somebody she's been seeing. But I'm like, I don't know what it would look like for Ramona to like.
She was very in love with Mario, so I feel like she's probably not a bad partner.
Yeah.
To be honest, like she looks like she grew up in a generation of like, really take care of the household. Like she kind of juggled it all. And for whatever it's worth, Avery seems so cool and normal and like successful and working. Like, I think she was probably a great wife and great mom. I know she's kind of bonkers, but I think she was probably a great wife and a great mom. That's my opinion. And actually, for whatever it's worth, I think most of the housewives are really good moms. Like there's very few clips. I mean, sometimes the kids are terrors, but the actual moms themselves, like you see them cooking and talking to them and I don't know. They all seem they seem like good moms.
I agree. That usually feels like the least of their problems.
Yeah. Like as parents, they all seem, and all their kids seem to really love. Like they're good. All the parents,
Yeah,
they seem pretty tight.
So with your impression skills, what was your first foray into the Bravo world? Like when did you like click into something and you were like, okay, I got this?
Well, I had been impersonating my whole life, so I always knew I could do it. But I would slip into voices of like our high school drama teachers with my friends, and I was always known for my impersonations. I would impersonate the teachers at pep rallies. Like I was like the impersonator of whatever. So I would slip into Meredith and Mary and Ramona, and finally my friend Brian was like, "You're so good at this, and you've been wanting to get back. I'm an actor, and I want to get back in the industry. Go on TikTok." And I resisted it, and I said, "Okay, I'll do Salt Lake City. I feel pretty good about Meredith and Mary. Let me do that." And then one video did okay. And then I did another video of New York as like the Real Housewives of New York as therapist, and that did okay. And then I was running late. A date. I was on a way to a first date, and they were running late. So my friend said, "Just do a video of the Salt Lake City opening Christmas gifts," and that was it.
Quite frankly, Seth, I'm disappointed, but I can't say that I'm surprised. You got me a book, really? Like you think I'm gonna sit down and read this book?
Like in one day, got like 50,000 likes. Which if you've never gotten a lot of likes, that feels like I was like. At the first date, getting notifications like it was shocking.
And like you haven't realized that you need to turn off your notifications
exactly.
Yet, so it's like your phone is literally just hot in your hand.
Completely. And it's awesome because I'm an actor. So to have my acting skills be lauded in that way was so gratifying and fulfilling. And I hadn't worked in a while as creatively. Like I've been coaching actors for a long time.
Yeah.
So the Housewives reignited my love for acting, really.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what it is. And now I do Miami, I do Beverly Hills, I do OC.
So I was going to tell you, I think the first video I saw of yours was Marisol and Alexia investigating a crime.
Yeah. And Marisol being like, "It smells like blood in here. I can't. It smells like blood. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm going to need like a ginger ale or with tequila. I can't. It smells like blood in here."
It's so, just putting them in these situations that they would never be in. It's like so stupid, but in the best way.
Well, I think that we only see them like at McMansions or mansions and yachts. So I'm like, what is Mary Cosby as a TSA agent?
Like in a different
Put it
life.
in the bin. Put it in the bin. His laptop's out, shoes off. Like I need that all the time. And since Bravo's not giving it to me, I'm gonna do it.
Imagine if Mary Cosby had to be like seeing people's bare feet all day at TSA.
I would pay money. And if you want, I'll do it for free on my TikTok. Maybe that'll be the next one. Mary Cosby as a nail technician. That's talons. You've got talents, babe. That's not cute. Don't ever go to the beach.
So when was do you remember the first time that somebody that you were doing an impression of reacted in a way that you could see to one of your videos?
Mary Cosby.
Okay.
I did Salt Lake City as a compilation, and then I started doing Mary Cosby, like singular Mary Cosby videos. And then Mary Cosby 47989 or something like me on TikTok. And I was like, this has to be a fan account. And I went on and I was like, no, this looks like her edits on Instagram. And then all of a sudden she liked one video, 2 minutes later liked another video, then she liked I guess she discovered me and liked 8 videos of mine. Here's the best part, Dylan. That same week, the episode where she says, I don't love people. Like I don't say I love you or something. You remember that episode where she was telling Angie, I don't say I love you to people? That same week that episode was airing, she commented on one of my acting coaching videos and she wrote, "I love you." And I was like, baby Jesus in the manger, I have seen what you have done for people and you have done it unto me. Because that was the best, stamp of approval, really. I mean.
Right. And it was at that point, like that probably was, you were still kind of like finding this
Yeah.
lane. So it probably was like a really good, vote of confidence of like, oh,
That's
yeah,
exactly
keep doing
right.
this.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. It felt like, okay, I'm on the right track. And also, when you're impersonating, I don't think any of my impersonations are mean. I'm not a gossip columnist. I don't work for a gossip page. I'm a comedian. So if you feel, and I don't believe in punching down or making people feel badly. So if they're not enjoying it, then it's not worth it for me. My whole thing is let's have a good time. Let's have a couple Coke Zeros with Joe Zarin and chill, right? So if we're not laughing, then it's not working. So Mary finding it funny was what I needed to know to continue doing what I was doing.
Yeah, and obviously, like, some of these people have more of a sense of humor than others. Not everybody's going to be, like, in the comments saying they love you. But, like, at the end of the day, it's like, it's not that serious.
It's not that serious. And also, I mean, luckily, I really don't think I'm making fun of any of them.
Yeah.
I feel I'm just impersonating them. And I get a sliver of them. Like, I do angles of them. I can't possibly impersonate Marisol in her fullness. She's a very interesting, educated, full woman who had a full professional life before she started the Housewives. She had a PR business. Obviously, I do her with the cocky because I do the version of her in the confessionals.
Right.
I do Alexia when she's about to tell you what time of day it is. And you know what? At the end of the day, obviously there's moments where Alexia's super sweet and warm and funny. I don't want to impersonate that.
Yeah.
I want to impersonate her when she's about to tell you, oh yeah, slander. That's what I want to do. Mary Cosby has really cute, charming, fun moments. I want to do her when she's at her wit's end.
Yeah.
I was telling Meredith last night, I was like my favorite, and Seth Marks. Oh, and he's so nice, by the way.
Seth is very
The
nice.
whole family is gorgeous, kind, sweet. Like the Marks, I need Keeping Up with the Marks, for real.
Next Gen NYC was a little bit keeping up with the Marks.
But I want more Marks. I want to keep up with them more. And I like that they're laid back. Like everyone's obsessed with chaos. And I'm like, why can't we watch normal people just doing shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want them to do normal people, normal, fabulous people doing shit. I call Meredith Hawaii time. She's on Hawaii time.
She's very low frequency.
So she's just chilling. And she's like, yeah. And then what's it called? Seth is rocking and rolling. But I told them that I like to do Meredith when she's about to go to trial. Quite frankly, on Tuesday, you didn't tell me that. So, like, she's about to tell you. And when I did it for Seth, he goes, "You're giving me PTSD."
She's got all her, like, evidence in order from the deposition.
He goes, "Really? That's interesting that you'd say that because when I called you last June, she remembers."
She really does.
And I love it, and I'm here for it.
It's so funny going back to Mary Cosby.
We can always go back to Mary
happy
Cosby,
you got the stamp of approval because my ass has been blocked since before season 1 even premiered.
No, why?
I will never know. I could never tell you.
From Mary Cosby?
Literally on Instagram, the Bravo by Betches account has been blocked by Mary Cosby since 2020.
Oh no.
It's just so funny to me because I'm like,
so she won't see this interview. I'm praising her. She won't ever even see it.
Somebody will send it to
someone
her.
will circulate to her. Someone on Mary's team, please let her know I love her and that you want to apologize. This is your
For what?
chance.
The only time
I don't know. I mean,
Mary Cosby actually is the only Real Housewife of Salt. Maybe there is beef. She's the only Salt Lake City housewife who has not sat in this room and been on this podcast. The only one. And the
Baby Gorgeous has been here.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love
the
that.
closest I have been to.
I love that.
The closest I've been to Mary Cosby was last year. They did this collab with Van Leeuwen ice cream for Salt Lake City, and they had this event at the Van Leeuwen store in Rockefeller Center where they decorated it. It was beautiful in that store. It was that like Salt Lake City shade of purple everywhere with like
really nice
quotes and snowflakes and everything. And they had Bronwyn, Angie, and Mary there scooping ice cream.
Amazing.
So Mary's in her reflective aviator sunglasses looking like LaToya Jackson with the pin straight hair. Bronwyn had the Judith Lieber like ice cream cone bag, of course.
Amazing. By the way, can we talk about Bronwyn?
Talk about it.
What a gift. I mean, it's like every 10 years, a housewife comes along that changes the game. There's no one like her. Mm-hmm. Give me one other housewife that has that unique of a storyline, personal style, and it's authentic because people have dressed weird all the time to get attention. Bronwyn is everything. I'm like, I remember, you want to talk about the moment where, like, there's always one moment where I realize I'm in love with someone. When she said, other people dress to be sexy, I realized I look like a Tim Burton character. I was like, That's the greatest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And it's actually given me, this sounds so cheesy, inspiration to be a little weird with my clothes. I'm like, I don't need to dress to be fucking sexy. I'd rather look like a Tim Burton character. Not today. I look like a fucking regular guy. But other times I'm like, I want to do my Bronwyn Newport Tim Burton character.
No, I mean, obviously she does it at a different tax bracket.
Moschino level, yeah.
But it's fun to watch somebody just like fully just be their own vibe.
Yes.
And like she doesn't give a fuck. She's like showing up at the airport in the hot dog costume because she thinks it's funny.
And you know what? I think as a thespian, as a kid who grew up in a drama club, I think she would be that girl in a drama club that would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that she's doing it necessarily because she can do it at that level. I think she's the girl that would show up to a slumber party and make us wear like, you know, dolphin outfits for fun. And like, she's a fun person.
Yeah.
I think she's fucking hilarious and she's great on the show. And by the way, super nice. I haven't met her in person yet, but we've DM'd and she's been so complimentary of my talent. Like, she's just really great.
Yeah. I also think like coming into that season of Salt Lake City that she did, they were also shell-shocked from Monica.
Yeah.
The prior season
Yeah.
that it was kind of a tough season to break into that group. And both, I mean, Brittany also like they both did a good job of kind of like
Brittany
really you know, they had their own vibes, establishing themselves. Yeah. Brittany also marches to the beat of her own drum. She's on TikTok singing every day.
But you know, I think Brittany's great for the show because the show is a comedy. Yeah. Salt Lake City is a comedy.
Yes.
And Brittany Bateman is in Arrested Development or whatever offbeat single cam she's in. And when I hear Brittany Bateman, I hear Mary Cosby. Like, I laugh at the thought of Brittany Bateman because I laugh when she's like, when Mary Cosby said, you need to figure out why your kids don't talk to you. She goes, rude. Like, and then Lisa Barlow says, that's too low. That's too low. Mary Cosby goes, not low enough.
Brittany, I think, was like, there is sometimes something like kind of wonderful when somebody doesn't quite realize what they got themselves into.
Oh, yeah.
That it's like Brittany had a lot of, like, her skeletons weren't even really in the closet. They were kind of like right out there on the rack.
When she was propping them up, she was like, look at this stuff I've got going on.
It's like, I'm dating this guy, but kind of not.
Yeah.
And then there's another guy. Also, my kids don't speak to me. Like, there was a lot really.
And I feel badly for her, actually. Like,
out front for her.
Yeah, she put it out there, and I did feel badly for her because that's hard. I can only imagine but it was interesting to see it play out. But, you know, when you go on a show like that, you got to really commit to this is what we're doing here.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And especially now, like 15 years ago, maybe it was a little more understandable that somebody would be like, oh, what's this show? It's glamorous. I'm going to get attention, you know, maybe help my career a little bit. Now it's like, no, like
you're fully aware of
what
what's
Housewives
going on.
is.
Yeah. And I think that the trick to being a great housewife, because people ask me that all the time, like, what do you think is your favorite housewife or whatever, or what makes a good housewife? I think what makes a good housewife is if you're unafraid to be yourself. Yeah. That helps, which Brittany is unafraid to be herself. And you got to just be honest. Mm-hmm. Because look at Shannon Bedour. The power of the Bedour. She has succeeded and done so well because she's honest. Yeah. And she cries all the time. No, but really, when she lifted her shirt up and grabbed her stomach and said, I don't recognize this person. People can relate to that, looking at themselves in the mirror and being like, I don't know who that person is. That's such a beautiful, vulnerable moment that despite how annoying you might have found her in other seasons, that moment humanizes her. And I mean, I leaned in so much for her. So if you're just honest and you're real and you lean into the fact that there are cameras and they are hearing everything and seeing everything and you just commit to being authentic, there's pretty much no way you can lose, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, last season on OC, I was impressed with Shannon because she was coming off of the DUI, the accident, the breakup, all of that. And like, it could have been, it was a hard time in her life, but it ended up being one of her best seasons on the show because she was able to kind of put it all out there and sort of own the fact that she had
gone through
made
this horrible
mistakes
thing
and had shit to work on and was kind of a mess. And, also Alexis kind of didn't help her case.
No, Alexis helped her case even more.
Alexis helped Shannon's case.
I think Alexis was the greatest thing that could have happened to Shannon.
And so it was so interesting because like Shannon didn't necessarily have like an easy season, but she had a really positive season from a perspective of like, oh, she really is like an important piece of this show.
Yeah, she is. And I think Alexis did the best. I mean, Shannon would have had a harder season without her. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because Alexis was so committed to being this person that it gave Shannon the chance to just Alexis took out the math for us and did it for us. And like you said, it's an important part of being in the show. So is Tamra. I cannot, maybe because I watch the show from an entertainer point of view and a comedian point of view. There's no reality where Tamara's not on the Housewives to me. There isn't. I don't want to watch the OC without Tamara. I don't want, I think she's great television. I think she's funny. Again, as a person I find myself to be funny and I like funny people. I like funny people. She's funny. And also, here's one thing I don't think anyone has been talking about because everyone's been so like, the therapy is so, I'm like, you know what? If she has been behaving badly and has been so angry, which I don't agree with everything Tamara's done. If we've shown all of that, we deserve to see her unpeel the layers to what's underneath that. We do deserve that because if she has been overreacting and lashing out, then let's sit with her while she figures out what that means because anger is a secondary emotion. It always represents something deeper. So if she has been that angry, anger is, fear pretending to be powerful. So I want to see what's underneath Tamara's anger. I want to see what she actually is afraid of. I want to see the more vulnerable parts of her because we've been getting the edit that's very specific, which makes for great television. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
But I want to be in the therapist's office with her more often. I want to sit next to her. I want her to be right here. And then we can both talk like Tamara.
Like bring her to the red table.
Yeah, I will be Jada Pinkett and she will be at the red table. But do you get what I'm saying though about Tamara? I feel like
something that's frustrated me a little bit from others in that cast is like you don't have to believe right off the bat that Tamara is a new person and has changed and will never hurt you again. But like give her a little bit of time to like try.
Yeah, and by the way,
because there is a little bit of that like she's going to therapy, what she's going to change, Tamara Judge, and it's like, I mean, she might.
And by the way, she has, because this season this is child's play. Tamara is on her best behavior this season. If you're going to tell me the way that she spoke to Jen at that dinner was Tamara, that's Tamara's twin sister. She was benign.
That's Tammy Sue.
That's Tammy's. Yeah. That was nothing. Tamara is on her best behavior. I'm like, has everyone gotten amnesia? Tamara's on her best behavior this season so far with Gretchen. That first dinner or...
Yeah.
Okay, Evil. That was Tamara internalizing and withholding. So I already see a difference.
I do feel that with Gretchen, that it's like if Tamara wanted to like send the ballistic missiles,
she
to
could
Gretchen
have, and
Rossi's
she
house.
would have.
Yeah.
So when people say Tamara hasn't changed, I'm like, actually, the change is there. Let's go back a couple seasons. One, Tamara was relentless with Shannon last year, and this year she is
tough.
being very. I notice it, and I guess because I study human behavior, I see her like containing herself. She's like, and I'm like, there is like, she's not having it, but she's not letting these people get the brunt of it. So I don't know. I'm interested in the Tamara redemption arc. I'm interested in seeing the therapy journey. I want more.
Well, I think Tamara also falls into that category you were talking about before of like, you kind of can't win a little bit sometimes where it's like, if she's being her messy self, creating storyline, spreading rumors, all of that stuff, that maybe you could say we need on the show. She's, evil and messy and, a horrible friend and all of that. But if she wasn't doing any of that, then you would say, why is she still here? She's boring.
You never win.
Yeah.
Housewives fans, I think, are like pretty, like, you can't win with them.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what do you want? I think that's why I think I'm in the elite group of Housewives fan, which is I like everything.
Yeah.
I like everything. I like every housewife. Even the housewives I don't like, I like them because I know that they're important to the show. Even the storylines I don't like, I mean, that's probably the only thing I'm like, certain boring storylines I could live without. Like an OC right now, the blogger thing.
It's too much.
I also think like I feel bad for the girl that got lied on. I feel badly for her because content creators and bloggers don't want to be interacting with people and then to get lied on. That's not cool. But
it's become over the past few years, I think they've gotten more okay with bringing those types of
being meta.
Yes,
right?
Bringing that onto the show in front of the camera a little bit more because we've seen it now on a few different franchises. And like sometimes it makes sense to be brought up and it can be relevant or whatever. But sometimes it's just like, can you guys fight about like wearing the same outfit or...
Yeah. But then that's the other thing is that some people hate petty arguments and some audiences love petty arguments. I like a petty argument because life is hard enough as it is. So if we're either going to go deep or whatever, but I can do an argument over cheese. I can. The only thing is I'm spoiled by Miami and New York. OG New York went through 20 arguments in one episode. Miami moves, man.
Yes.
And if you're not like, I'm used to that. So, and obviously I'm high speed. So I'm like, let's keep this moving. Beverly Hills, that's why I like Beverly Hills. I watch every season, but I can't with Pantygate lasted
it's
like
a
9
different
episodes.
it's a
Do you remember
different
Pantygate?
frequency, and even like the Kyle and
I gotta
Dorit
pull a
stuff.
Marisol here. Sorry, just I gotta be like, I can't do Pantygate any longer. I need a cocky. The Pantygate lasted forever. I'm like,
Even the Dorit and Kyle stuff last season, it was like, okay, we're 12 episodes in,
and we're having the same conversation
Right.
in 9 variations. I cannot do this.
yeah.
To quote the prophet Ramona Singer, I can't. I'm like, we need to move on. So at least in OC, they're starting to move on from the blogger thing. Thank the Lord. And I'm into the whole season though.
I really am like the continued use of the phrase fatty photo. It's
I don't like that.
Oh, I think it's
Oh,
hilarious.
do you? Okay. I don't know. I don't think it's very, I mean, I guess no one's watching The Housewives for kindness and morality, but I think it's like a phrase that's like,
Well, yes.
yeah,
yes.
I'm a little like,
But one of my favorite like little like ticks on Housewives is when somebody will use like a specific phrase to refer to something, and then that becomes adopted by the rest of the cast. Like on the last season of Jersey, there was this drama with somebody's hair girl, and then suddenly it was like we were using the phrase hair girl.
yeah,
like
yeah. So you like
55 times.
you like phrases, yeah.
Right, or like back in the day on
Red scarf guy on
Yes.
New York.
On Vanderpump Rules back in the day when the whole thing was, did Kristen bang Jax? She banged Jax.
Yeah.
When did you bang Jax? Yes or no? It's like, huh?
2 or 3 words that become like staples in the conversation.
Right, it's like nobody's saying, did you sleep with him? Nobody's saying, did you have sex?
Bang.
It's like, did you bang him?
Yeah. What are you thinking about Vanderpump and her new show? By the way, I've never seen an episode of Vanderpump Rules or The Valley.
Wow.
I've never
So-
seen anything outside of Housewives. But what do you think?
So you're like a Housewives devotee,
Totally.
but what are you just not? Do you feel like you have enough in your cup from Housewives that you just aren't interested, or what's?
You know, the comical thing is that I've just always been friends with older women. Like most of my life, I've just been friends. When I was like 20 years old, I had friends in their 40s and 50s that were beautiful women. Like I've been hanging out with real housewife type women my whole life.
Yeah.
I've always had a deep appreciation for older women. So that's just where I lean into naturally. Like 30-year-old people being messy, it's a little too commonplace in LA and Miami and New York. I'm like, boring. So I'm like, I was born and raised in Miami.
Okay.
Chaos and drunken fights and all. I'm
You're
like,
like, what else is going on?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, all right, darling. It's like, so I think the Housewives gives me something that's a little bit more escapism.
Yeah.
Whereas, but Vanderpump Rules, the reboot, it should be fun. I mean, I might see that. I might check into that because I know
Okay.
someone who's joining the thing. So
I've started to get little like bits and
Tidbits,
pieces. I'm always, I mean, kind of like you say, you like everything. It's like I always try to be optimistic, and then I hope that they prove me right.
wait, so then if
never
I were to
know.
watch one non-Housewife show, because I've never, what would it be? One non-Housewife show. I started watching Love Hotel, but that's Housewives, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, and also it's like 6 episodes.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, those OG Vanderpump seasons are pretty legendary. There's some Southern Charm seasons that are really crazy.
I heard Patricia's a great character for me. I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Everyone says I'd get a kick out of her.
you would get a kick out of Miss Patricia. You
Is
know,
she the one who has like a butler? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it really depends, because I think for me, like, I also am like a Housewives first and foremost, but I think like you sort of start to pick up, it's like you pick up a little bit here, like Vanderpump feeds into Summer House a little bit, and Southern Charm feeds into that, and there's a lot of kind of overlap. Actually, Southern Hospitality
Would be fun.
might be fun because they've had a few seasons and it's very, very messy.
Okay.
But that cast has a lot of characters.
I was about to say, I need eccentric characters. I need people that have
that
been
cast
dropped
has, like,
off of.
mascara tears.
Okay. Yeah, so we got some
people
real
hooking up.
theatrics.
There's gay people on it,
Yeah.
which is not, we can't say for every show on Bravo. I appreciate that you are from Miami and you enjoy it so much because
Yeah.
I don't have that perspective. What do you feel like they get right about Miami on
Well,
that show?
Miami does have a lot of people from a lot of different cultures and backgrounds.
Yeah.
So, having the Gertie, the Julia, the Kiki, the Alexia, Marisol being half WASP and half Cuban, that's more common than people think,
Yeah.
So I think on a multicultural level, it's pretty spot on. I think that Miami is a place of extreme luxury. It really is. I mean, and what's kind of cool and funny about Miami is that people with extreme luxury can still kind of commingle with people that aren't because of the restaurants and the malls. I mean, not everyone's it's like on the Upper East Side. You're only on the Upper East Side at Bergdorf's if you're buying $300 socks. You're not, a regular person isn't really there. But in Miami, it's more mixed. So we've seen all kinds of wealth growing up, around us, even if we weren't at those exact parties. But I think that they get the flavor right. The flavor of Marisol and Alexia is so I was just at dinner with Alexia last night, and I was telling her, living in LA now, it's just not the same not being from Miami, because there's a flavor and a hug and a thing, and we talk, and it's a whole thing. So seeing that warmth and that fire on TV feels so good. And I don't think any other show has that same. Atlanta has that same yumminess. When the girls would kiki and they would laugh and they'd like play and laugh, that was really fun.
And you can feel that there's like a real like community vibe to it, that it's like these people might not all be the same, but they all really like they're sense friends in the same world.
Yes, they're in the same world. And that's what I find funny. Like this whole Team Julia Gertie thing is getting very complicated. Yeah. And people are saying that they're icing Gertie out. I don't see it that way, because I think they like Gertie. They actually like Gertie. I don't think it's a thing of that they dislike Gertie. I don't see that at all. I think it's just a situation got complicated, and by the end of it, it got so escalated that it was like, you know, but I don't see them as disliking Gertie. If that's how she feels, I can't negate that, obviously. But I mean, they've had great seasons with her beforehand. There was never anything that really looked like that up until this season, right? Am I mistaken?
Yeah. I mean, I think like last season, Gertie had a good, I mean, obviously she was going through a lot with her health stuff.
But they seemed like they supported her and they were there for her.
I think she got a lot of support because she was going through something that necessitated that. And really also like Larsa kind of screwed the pooch with how she handled that information. So Gertie was like an easy hero.
Again, but Larsa's ability to confront any sensitive topic with very little care is fucking hilarious to watch. It's horrible to live through. But again, I watch a show as an entertainment.
I always say Miami is a cast that is very loud and wrong a lot of the time. And that's good. It's good TV.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm from Miami, so it doesn't seem that wrong to me. But
like when Alexia, that quote that she gave where she was like, "I don't need the receipt because the receipt is in my head and my heart."
Oh my God! Well, that's
perfection.
And you know what? It's great for two reasons. Because one could look at it as all I need to do is connect to my intuition and my gut and my heart. So I don't care about what's on paper. I'm going with what I feel. That could be a version of it. I'm going with my gut instinct. And another version could be, screw it, fuck it, dismiss it.
Like, I don't need to
And I like it.
And
Oh my God. I was telling her last night.
Oh God.
I was like, Alexia, do you understand that I drive and I hear slander? I laugh my ass off at slander. That's my new safe word.
I really...
Slander.
Joe knows this. My favorite
Por favor. I apologize to the loca.
Julia going, is Larsa.
Oh my God. See, who can beat Miami right now? When people tell me they don't watch Miami, I'm like, how can you tell me you're a real housewife fan and you're not watching a show that's combining comedy, drama, tragedy? It's Shakespearean.
It is.
Larsa and Lisa in the Sprinter van staring at each other. In Milan. And Jody just like, and then that's Macbeth. Mm-hmm. In my opinion.
Larsa's poor son, who's like, I just booked a modeling gig. Yeah, I'm just here to work.
I would like it to be about me for about 2 seconds. Just a little bit. Yeah, but I love it. So Miami, I tell everyone, if you're not watching, you gotta watch.
I agree.
And those are the girls, those are the babes. I can't wait to hang out with them at BravoCon.
Yes, you're going to BravoCon this year.
I'm going to BravoCon.
Is it your first time?
It's my first time. Okay. And yeah, so hopefully, I don't know if I'm doing anything quite yet, but I know I'll be there. And I'm pitching myself because I don't want to just walk around.
Is there anyone that you don't care to meet, or that you would be like a little like, I want to keep that?
I feel pretty good about my impersonation. So like in terms of not being mean. So I think no one's going to be like weird about it. There's only one person I haven't given a fair shake.
Okay.
And I would like to publicly apologize, but I have a reasoning for it. So I'm glad you brought that up. Whitney from Salt Lake City. In my impersonations, I have made Whitney sound very slow, but it's really in comparison to the other women.
Yeah.
Because if Whitney were on another show, she wouldn't sound as slow in my head.
Yes.
But when you've got Lisa Barlow, who's nonstop, and then Mary Cosby is going 1,000 miles per hour, and Heather Gay that's with it, and Bronwyn that's with it, and Meredith that's like laying out the law, and then you get Whitney.
Yeah.
It sounds like New York, LA, right? It's like, it's the pacing to me. So when I've impersonated Whitney, I've made her sound slow, and I don't actually think she's slow. But I'm being serious. There's no shade there. I'm being genuine.
Speaks a little slow.
She just, but I've, of course, since I'm a comedian, I have exaggerated. So I go like this when I do her. And I don't think that's fair because I don't think she actually...
Lisa, why do you...
Yeah. So, but then you compare her to like when Meredith is cranking up and Mary Cosby and Lisa Barlow and Heather... It's
hard to get in there.
Yeah. And you know who I haven't mastered yet? And I'm so sad about that is Angie K.
Angie,
I haven't in person. I can't find her.
She's kind of one of a kind.
She is, and she's got like a raspy voice, and she kind of moves her head a little bit. But I can't. And
She looks like a mother.
she's a pillar of the community. By the way, you want to talk about a housewife that at first I was like, okay, and then I'm like, this is a gift from Zeus. The Greek god of Zeus.
She turned that ship around in a way that very few have been able to do.
The comic.
She went from flop to gay icon in like 12 minutes.
And how great was that argument of you were a dancer in her video? I was not the backup. Well, you were backup in her. I mean, I needed that to go on 2 episodes. Her saying that she's not a backup dancer, she's the star.
It is crazy because it's like you say Beverly Hills, like they move so slow. And it's like there are some shows where it's like, I would have loved to hear about that for another 12 minutes. Like,
yeah. There's certain really good, but we get so used to how quickly they move that we lose out on some of those juicy moments. But then we're on Pantygate for 9 seasons.
Well, we'll see what they're given this year.
What are you thinking about Beverly Hills this year?
I haven't been thinking about it much, gotta say.
Okay.
Well, they'll be back.
I feel really badly for Kyle. I know that I kind of want to see something new in terms of entertainment, but I do feel for her because she looked like she genuinely loved Mauricio, and he looked like he genuinely loved her. And the kids,
she seems like she needs a little shot of something. Like she's.
I'm hoping this season they bring her a strong ally that rejuvenates her or something, because it was hard to watch her have the same kind of conversation.
A little bit like checked out.
Shannon Bedore feels that way this season.
Maybe
Shannon Bedore looks like not physically tired. She just looks like she doesn't want to do it. She's like, and Katie with the recording. Like she looks like she just doesn't want to be there.
She's having fun with her parade of Love Hotel boys.
Yeah, neck up. I'm like, so when the housewife starts to when they start to look like they're just suffering too much, it kind of takes out the fun for me, I guess.
And you can come back from that.
Oh yeah, it takes one person. Yeah. It takes one friend.
It takes one Tamra judge to dig where she doesn't.
I'm a Tamra stan. I know.
I have no problem.
Okay, no, I know. I'm like I'm aware. Like that. I don't know. And by the way, for whatever it's worth, I was a Tamra stan before she even started commenting on my stuff and liking my stuff. I mean,
Tamra lives in a DM section. Yeah. Like she's
but we don't talk like that. Like she just
right.
What I will say about the housewives that I've experienced so far is obviously none of them. Like I'm not a page 6 person, so they can't ask me to do anything. I'm a comedian, but they've all been really complimentary. It's not like, oh, do me, or can you do this?
Yeah.
They've just been like, you're so talented. And that goes a long way.
Can you do a video where you make Katie look bad?
yeah, exactly. No one's done that. I'm like, you're like,
can you do a video where you imply that maybe she talked to a blogger? You're gonna start getting texts. It's like, okay, so here's the script. I wrote it for you.
I've gotten some requests from some people that I haven't done yet because I'm
you've got a lot of material to work through.
Yeah, and when Salt Lake City comes back, baby,
forget about it.
You're gonna be fed.
Forget about it.
Big Mig is gonna take care of you. You gonna eat today. Mary Cosby, I can't wait. BravoCon. I want a Mary Cosby and I reunion. It's a reunion because
a meeting of the minds.
Completely. We know each other from a different lifetime, so it's all about baby, bring it in,
baby.
Yeah, and I kind of want to meet Dorit. She used to like some of my videos.
Oh yeah.
She never commented, but she used to like some of my videos. So she's cool with my Dorit. I do the Dorit that's like absolutely leaning in.
Yeah,
that's it, baby. I only do that version of her. I do love the version of her where she's on one. That's what I need to start doing. Is when she's gonna absolutely tell you. Yeah. That I should start playing with. But when she her and Bose, the lesbian love affair of Dorit and Bose, I love it. They're obviously not lesbians, but you know what I'm saying? It's like there's a romantic thing about them. Yeah. And I totally get that because there are certain friends that you have that it's like a romantic platonic friendship where you're like, I just love you and I adore you. And and I thought that was sweet. I actually believed it. Some people didn't believe it, but I believe it.
My favorite, the most recent Dorit thing that I saw that just tickles me is when she's like, un Coca-Cola normal. Un gin tonic.
And by the way,
un Campari soda.
They bug her so much about that. But guess what? When you go to other countries, they appreciate it when you talk in their language, or when you at least try.
Yeah.
They appreciate it because they're not just like some American being like, I'll have a Diet Coke, thanks. So it's like I'm trying at least to meet you halfway. So she's a child of the world.
She's a child of the world.
I think they just like making fun of her because
she makes it easy.
she makes it easy, maybe. But I mean, I don't know. I've when I've traveled and you try even and you mess up and you go, "Je parle un peu de français," they go, "Oh, it's okay."
No, I mean that's me like speaking Spanish. You gotta try.
It's cute, and some people really, most countries they appreciate a tourist trying to.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I find, again, Dorita's comedic gold to me. And I thought she had a really strong season last season.
She did.
I thought she was, and again, she was benign too. She really held back on Sutton.
Yes.
I can see when the ladies are deciding to not go there.
Yeah.
I mean, poor girl's going through a divorce and has 2 kids under the age of like 12 or whatever. I mean,
yeah, we don't know where the money's at. It's
a tough situation, So, and listen, when you actually, I'm a child of divorce, I get how difficult it is. So there's certain storylines that when you see, you kind of go, and maybe why I get Tamara in some weird ways is that I don't go to sad as my first emotion. I always go to frustration or anger. So not that I get Tamara, but I kind of get Tamara. Like if you're a person that cries before you yell, you won't get her.
Right.
But if you're a person who's always had to be strong and has always had to fight and has always had to be independent, you understand where that comes from. The defense mechanism. Let me hurt you before you hurt me, So, yeah, sorry. It seems like I'm being paid by Tamara. I'm not. And if I were, I'd be in like a Gucci tracksuit. If I come back here.
At BravoCon.
At BravoCon, if I'm in a Gucci tracksuit, a housewife has sponsored me to be nice about them. Now, mind you, you're the only podcast I've been on and probably the only podcast I'll go on because I'm afraid. What if people start saying crazy things about me in the comments? Like, he's a housewife. Oh, someone wrote me that on my DMs.
Oh, yeah.
They were like, you're a housewife hanger-on. You want to be a house. I'm like, I don't want to be a housewife, but I am obsessed with them. So if the cool ones want to hang out with them, I'm going to hang out with
the territory.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm okay with that.
If you haven't been accused of being in the pocket of like, I don't know, big Melissa Gorga or whatever.
Listen. You think I'm this good at Mary Cosby because I hate her?
Because you didn't watch the show?
Because I didn't watch the show. You think that I have captured Ramona's micro mannerisms because I can't stand her? No. To quote the prophet Ramona, I wish he had a brain or two.
Well, this has been so fun.
Thank you. It's been so much fun.
I can't wait to see you at BravoCon. Well, tell everyone where they can find you and check out your videos and everything.
On Instagram, I'm at the Miguel Luciano. TikTok, I think it's Miguel_Luciano. Just search up Miguel Mary Cosby, and I'm sure we'll pop up. Secret lovers, love me. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here.
This is great.
Thanks, Miguel. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe. Until next time, be cool. Don't be all like uncool.
Own it, baby.